The lithium ion battery pack is the power source for all the electric vehicles. Without lithium ion, there is no power available. Like it's like a fuel to the electric vehicle. So why lithium ion? What is the specific why we are using the lithium ion? And what does the lithium ion battery pack contains? What are all the regulations available? And also, if we have to design a battery pack, like as a mechanical engineer and as an electrical engineer, what we need to keep it in our mind so that we can accommodate the regulation standards and also make the battery pack. So this webinar is planned to give a overview what is there in the industry about lithium ion battery pack. We will mention what does a lithium ion cell contains and thermal runaway and cooling strategies and how we can progress, like what are all the carrier paths available in case if you are, because the emerging trend is electric vehicles, you know. India is also following the entire world. US and China were already far advanced in the electric vehicles. Like all the major OEMs are taken a goal or a transformation path that no more IC engines in the future by 2030. Even the countries have put forth some regulation standards like UK and all. They don't, because of the pollution and also the rising fuel cost, electric vehicles are the future. So no doubt in that. And lithium ion battery pack, it's a multi-versatile. You don't consider them as a prime mover or the power source in the electric vehicles. They will be used in the power backup and like you can store the power wherever the solar cells are, the regenerative power buildup, and you can store it and use it in the multi-domain use. So this is going to be a very well options available. This slide talks about what are all the different classifications that are available. The conventional engine has the 12 volt lead acid batteries, which we generally see it is only for start and stop. But the mild hybrid, full hybrid, PHEV, range extended EV, all use a certain forms of the electric drives, but it's not 100 percentage. Like you always have the IC engine as the either the primary or the secondary power whenever there is a need. But electric vehicle, there is no engine, and you can see there is the the requirements of lithium ion battery pack is depending on the range as well as the accelerations that you need on the vehicle. Generally, you need batteries minimum of 100 kilowatt hours, and it occupies a huge space. And earlier battery packs is a subsystem, but now the vehicles are built around the lithium ion battery pack. They generally form the lower floor and then the entire compartment. The, the vehicle is built around the lithium ion battery pack. So the crash as well as the safety requirements for the lithium ion battery pack is very, very critical. And that decides how a lithium battery pack design requirements. So I'll take you from the basic principles why we are choosing for the lithium ion. Lithium is the very reactive element or the material available in the world. It has 3 valence electrons on its periphery. So if you would have studied the Bohr's the stability of electrons, the innermost circle will have 2 electrons, and 1 electron is always free in the lithium, and it always tries to react with other components, and it will free up that electrons whenever there is a need. And it is very, very highly reactant to water. So lithium ion battery packs exposing to water is catastrophic. They will immediately catch fire. So how does this work? So we have anode and cathode, and in anode we have the we call graphite intercalation compound, which is a pure carbon. So carbon, the valence electrons around the carbon will form along with the lithium. It will react and it will free up, like it will make a compound. It will free up that electrons and lithium ion will get formed whenever there is a load. You connect the electrons to pass through. Whenever there is a connectivity, the free electrons will pass around the circuit or the load, but lithium ion also has to move. Otherwise, the other end where you have the cathode, where we have cobalt. Generally, it is a lithium, cobalt, and manganese oxide. Cobalt is actually specifically added for thermal stability. It's a lithium oxide compound, and what it does is the cobalt, along with the lithium ion, the lithium ion will pass through the electrolyte, and we have a separator. Main role is to stop the electrons. So it is, if you think of an electrolyte, it is like a solvent where one side, like the anode side, you'll have a lithium ion which is having highest concentrations. These lithium ions during discharge will move from anode to the cathode. Like how you dissolve in the salt in a water, if you put salt in one place, it will gradually dissolve and take, even though if there is a barricade or like however water filter works, even though you have a separator or a film, these charges get neutralized. So that's how the lithium ion will move from anode to the cathode. Upon reaching the cathode and the electrons which comes through the external circuit, it forms the lithium cobalt oxide compound. So these two equations are like redox equations, and the cell so each positive side and negative side will give a rise of the voltage differential. So the entire cell, the voltage is going to be approximately 3.7 volt, which is again highest in the redox equation. So some more explanation whatever I have told you, and this is purely chemistry, like what people have done for last 20-30 years. So they were changing different materials, but the anode side is pretty standard, like we use the graphite and carbon components, and these positive and negative electrodes are adjoining your anode and cathode, so that it allows the movement of the electrons through the external circuit. And challenge to mass produce all these things are mainly related to the active material, mainly on the cobalt. Cobalt is like a very limited resource, mainly in Africa and certain parts of Australia. So industries are right now limited companies where they have access to cobalt and then lithium. Lithium also very like lithium mining have exploded for like it's like growing. Mining is growing more than 200-300% over the year. But the good part is the cost of the battery pack per kilowatt hour is coming down, and over the period we can see everywhere the lithium ions or the lithium ion cells taking over the power storage and then our electric vehicles. Okay, so how does these lithium ions like ion? I said, what is an ion? Once the lithium in the, like, which is having three valence electrons, if it loses one electron, it becomes a positive, like it's a stable, only two electrons on its path. And being it's only three electrons, it's very smaller in size, it gets accommodated in between the void spaces of both carbon and metal oxides. And the separator is a critical part. So what it does is, when we excessively discharge or in the abusive scenarios, it plays very critical part, because it should not allow the movement of electrons. Once the anode and cathode short circuits, you don't need any electrical or external circuit to pass the electrons. They will react themselves and catch fire. So the separator is specially made of hydrocarbons. It will be like a film structures. You can Google it out. And how does lithium ion passes? Why not electrons? Electrons, there is no medium to carry forward. These lithium ions are getting dissolved into the solvent, and solvent doesn't carry the electrons. If there is a short circuit or some force or some forming difficulty in the separator, because all very thin stuff, if there is a direct contact established, then the battery will catch fire. So we have both. It is very good for energy storage. At the same time, like we need to take care of the safety part. Unless we take care of the safety, like lithium ion battery packs is like an explosive you carry on your car or at your backyard. So there are different categories of cells that are available in the market. You can see the cylindrical cells which are commonly available. The Tesla, which is pioneer in electric vehicle, uses the cylindrical cells because of its like modularity. You can place them um, at many places whenever there is a need, and you can standardize it. And you could see these this packaging like positive uh, electrodes, and then anode cathode separator, and then electrodes. They form a coil sort of thing, and they will be molded inside these cylindrical cells. Any cells need to have a venting space, and then need to have a like a gas hole, so that in case if there is a fire happening or short circuit is happening, the gases need to come out. So, and why? Because if you don't allow the temperatures inside, they are highly reactive gases, and the temperatures inside the cell will be raising anything, and it will propagate to one cell to another cell. So the cylindrical cells have a good safety protection system because of being a very small in size and modular concept. In case if there is certain cells are getting short circuited, so those cells can, but generally it's not feasible, but you can have a feasibility to change those cells alone. The other configuration is like a prismatic cells, which comes with an enclosure, pretty stiff enclosure. Mainly our mobile batteries are all called prismatic cells because you need certain enclosure as part of the cell, and you can see this cathode electrodes and then electrode membranes are all like a thin sheets. They are stacked together, and each of the terminals which are coming, positive and negative terminals, are taken out and they join together. And at the end, we get the voltage whatever is needed. So most of the lithium ion cell, as I mentioned, the electric potential between one cell is 3.7 volts. So most of them will be connected in parallel, so that the terminal voltage, when it's coming out, you will get the more ampere in your hand, but the 3.7 voltage is maintained within the cell. You don't do the series combination or parallel combinations, which we'll be discussing in the future. That will come in the module level. When you assemble 2-3 cells together, the combination goes. But within the cells, they will try to see that the cell voltage is 3.7 voltage. So this is a pouch cell, and pouch cell is more versatile use because of its volumetric efficiency. You can stack them. It's like a prismatic region. And what it has is a pouch. It's like a very thin aluminum foil is enclosing your anode, cathode, and then separator electrodes. These layers are continuous. If you see like one set, if you take the electrode, current carrying electrodes, cathode, and then separators, and then anode, and then the current carrying electrode, and then the separator comes again, it takes, then the next set of series of things are coming. So these pouch cells can carry a very high energy density for a given volume. And most of the EVs, if you take General Motors or Volkswagen, everyone is going ahead with the pouch cell concepts. Chinese predominantly they go with the prismatic cells because of the modularity, and then Tesla uses the cylindrical cells in electrical vehicles. The cells, like if whatever we have seen is lithium ion cell, there are 3 different configurations. One can be cylindrical, prismatic, or a pouch cell. But you want to connect many cells in series or parallel combination, so that you get a sufficient voltage and current rating, so that you can drive any electrical motor or whatever utility you wanted to do. So what are all the different types available in the market or in the industries? Are like the cells can be connected in series, parallel, or series parallel or parallel series combination. I'll explain you. Okay, this S stands for series. 1s4p means like the four cells are connected in parallel, so that and the voltage remains same. So if you take one battery cell, it is 3.6 or 3.7 voltage. But when you connect it in 1s4p, again the voltage remains same, but you will get 4 times of the ampere, and also the, of course, the energy, it gets multiplied irrespective of the connection you make. And 4s1p and 2s2p are different possible combination which you can connect. So generally, if you see 1s4p, S stands for series, and P stands for parallel, and 4p means the number tells that how many cells are connected in parallel. So parallel is always that you amplify your current instead of the voltage. That's how we should read those numbers. Okay, what is a module? Why we need a module and pack? So it's again for the modularity concept, and the another aspect is you want to keep the cells in a smaller group so that in case of a fire, accidents, or thermal runaway, which is critical as I mentioned earlier, you don't allow this thermal runaway or the incident to pass to another component and the entire battery pack catches fire. You want to limit that fire or thermal runaway problem within that module. So that's why the modular concepts came in. Why not at the modular, like whatever the cell level, and then go to the direct pack? That's possible. Like you don't like if you are going for the cylindrical cells and the modular level, and you can take it for the pack. But again, if you are doing a servicing and other things, it will be difficult. So you need to remove, and manufacturing also comes into place. Again, these cells are live. When you see the battery pack, they are high voltage. You need special training, because if you touch these cells, you will be electrocuted. So what are all the components of this module? So you have the cells, of course, and you need some foam separator so that the vibrations get absorbed and the cells doesn't. And also the major problem in the thing is the cell expansion. So during charging and discharging, the cell volume, because the movement of physical lithium ions, no, so it moves from lithium ions move from anode to cathode. So the cell starts growing during your charging and discharging. So it starts growing, and over the period, what happens is the cell volume grows, and you want certain member to absorb that growing space. So the foams in the module absorbs that expansion, and that's why the foam separators are needed. And you need the cooling systems because you don't want the temperatures of the cell to go beyond 40-50 degrees Celsius, even in the operating. Like IC engine, you need a very active cooling system in the thing. And bus bars, you don't need them to be like loosely connected, because you are carrying higher amperage, and any loose connectivity there will form arc, and again will generate a lot of performance issue. By the enclosures, again the cell expansion, it will give certain pressures, and the external faces are the enclosures. The enclosure has to be stiff enough so that whatever the expansion rate in the cells, or any the vibrations being transferred from the vehicle to the inside are attenuated, and you still maintain the shape. And sensing circuits and control boards are mainly for the battery management system. You have to actively manage the battery so that you can make the best use of the battery modules and the battery pack.